Join me today making these beautiful flaky and buttery croissants. I'm Kat, owner of Charmin Chic Baking, and welcome to my channel. I'm using bread flour, sugar, salt, butter, and water at 100 degrees Fahrenheit, some active dried yeast, and eggs for the egg wash. Baker's Gold is unsalted European butter that has a higher fat content than regular butter at 84% and is more than double the price at $8 for half a pound, but well worth it. I'm going to test this butter to see its pliability by cutting a little piece, then wrapping it in plastic wrap. Already a little piece broke off, which tells me I'm going to have to make it pliable for the buttery, which is the French term for butter block. The butter cracks when I bend it, so even though it has high moisture, it does need to be made pliable. The way to make butter pliable is by measuring 140 grams of room temperature butter. And to that, I'm going to add 10 grams of all-purpose flour to make the butter a little more elastic and easier to roll without breaking. Then wrap the butter flour mixture in parchment paper, then shape it into a 4-inch square block called a buttery. You want to create sharp edges as we're going to roll the butter into the corners to make it even. Then we're going to refrigerate this until ready to use. To make the dough, dissolve yeast in warm water to test the strength of the yeast. Cover it with plastic and let it stand for 10 minutes at room temperature. You can see how the yeast doubled, so we know it's active and ready to use. Next, in a medium bowl, combine the flour, sugar, and salt and give it a good whisk. Whisk up the yeast and add it to the flour mixture. Then add the butter and eggs. and stir until all the flour is incorporated. Continue kneading the dough until smooth and elastic, about 5 minutes, using a scraper to help if needed. Roll the dough into a tight ball, then cover and let it rest for 1 hour in a warm place. The dough will puff slightly, but it doesn't need to double. We're now going to make the de trempe, which is the French term for the initial dough in laminated pastries, by placing the dough onto a sheet of parchment paper that we're going to shape into a 4 by 8 inch rectangle, or double the size of the butter block. You can add a sheet of plastic wrap to help roll the dough, as you don't want to add any extra flour. We're going to aim to get the dough the same flexibility as the butter so that they roll together easier. So this may take about 30 minutes to 1 hour of refrigerating the dough while the butter block comes to room temperature for about 10 minutes. Okay, now we're going to start the lamination process by placing the butter block in the middle of the de trempe and folding the top and bottom over to encase the butter. We're going to then pinch the seams together. Add a little dusting over the flour on top and press the dough with a rolling pin a few times before rolling out the dough, starting from the middle outwards. Never roll back or forth. Try to keep the edges straight and sharp as possible. We're going to roll this dough into an 18-inch long rectangle. Notice how I'm rolling from the middle outwards and never back and forth. Once the rectangle is rolled out, ensure that it's not sticking to the work surface by lifting it up from the bottom. Now we're going to do our first set of folds by first folding one side slightly past the halfway mark, then the other side to join. This ensures there's no gap in the middle when we go to do the next fold. Now pinch the edges together. Then fold this in half to form another rectangle. So this is what we call a double fold or a book fold. Then take your rolling pin and press the dough gently with the rolling pin so that it sticks together. So your dough should look like this at this point. Then wrap the dough and chill it for 30 minutes in the refrigerator and about 15 minutes in the freezer. The reason why we do this is so to firm up the butter so that it doesn't melt into the dough. After chilling, we're going to score the edges with a sharp knife so that the butter layers spread evenly when rolling. Then take your rolling pin and press gently again before rolling it out. So we're rolling this again into an 18-inch long rectangle. Flip it over and continue rolling out. Now make sure you brush off the excess before doing the next set of folds. And this time we're going to fold it evenly into thirds. This is what we called a single fold or a letter fold. And now your dough will look like this. We're going to also refrigerate and freeze like last time. Next, we're going to roll this out one more time, but this time into a 12-inch rectangle. Notice how I'm rolling from the middle outwards and rotating the dough so that we roll this out very evenly. Try to keep the edges straight as possible. Now we're going to score this into 6 even triangles. Then make a little slit on the widest part, and we're going to elongate it by pressing down a little bit from top to bottom and pulling it slightly. This is just going to create more flaky layers. Next, we're going to press down very gently and start rolling the dough. Make sure that the tip ends up underneath so that the croissants don't open up while baking. Then place the croissants on a parchment lined baking sheet. Now we're going to give the croissants an egg wash with 1 egg yolk combined with a teaspoon of milk. And we're going to brush just the tops of the croissants. Make sure you don't get them on the sides, otherwise they will fuse together and you won't get those beautiful flaky layers. And this is how the croissants will look like before proofing. Now we're going to make a proofing chamber by adding 2 cups of boiling water to a pan at the bottom of your oven and close the door for a bit. Now before putting the croissants in, we're going to ensure that the oven reaches 77 to 80 Fahrenheit. And this is how they will look like after proofed for 2 hours. You can see those layers separating already. Now we're going to give the croissants another egg wash, and I'm only going to bake 2 for now because I'm doing a little experiment with the other 2. I want to see how they bake from frozen, before proofed, and after proofed. I've baked the croissants at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes, and you can see how beautifully deep golden brown these are with that nice shiny crust, and that is just from the egg wash, nothing else added. And I want to show you the size difference between the baked, proofed, and unproofed croissants. And here's a final result. Beautiful flaky layers with a nice honeycomb structure. Absolute perfection. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to leave your questions and comments below, and I look forward to sharing my fall desserts in the next few episodes. Happy baking!